He built a bomb shelter at home and lived in it with his wife. They had just hidden inside when a huge explosion occurred outside the house. To avoid nuclear radiation, the man quickly sealed the iron door of the bomb shelter and set a countdown switch. They could only go out after 35 years when all nuclear radiation had dissipated, but they didn't know the explosion outside was caused by a plane crash. During the long wait, the couple had their first child. They named him David. Fortunately, the bomb shelter had enough supplies, so they never worried about food. The father taught David to read from childhood and various fighting skills. The mother taught him etiquette and essential skills for social occasions. Soon it was David's 35th birthday. They had almost forgotten the countdown. That night a loud noise woke them up. They approached and saw the iron door had opened automatically, indicating the danger outside had passed. The family could finally return to the surface. The father offered to check the situation outside first. The once bustling residential area was now in ruins. He nervously looked around and found people outside acted very strangely. Frightened, he ran back to the bomb shelter and described what he saw outside. The father believed the nuclear radiation hadn't ended and they should set another countdown. But by then his wife was unhappy. She didn't want to stay in the basement forever, nor did she want her son to be trapped here for a lifetime. During the argument, the father had a heart attack. The mother hurriedly gave money to David, asking him to go out alone to buy supplies. David took the elevator slowly up to the surface. When he pushed open the door, he was stunned. It was the first time he had breathed outside air, but he didn't forget his mission. He then took a bus to the supermarket to buy supplies. 35 years later, prices had increased tenfold. The money his mother gave couldn't buy anything. David had to go home first to find a way. Since it was his first time out, he couldn't find his way home until passing by a collectible store. He tried to exchange the baseball cards his father gave him for money, but the boss deliberately lowballed him to cheat. Just then the clerk came out. She unhesitatingly exposed the boss's lies and got fired for it. David fell in love at first sight with the kind girl. He asked her to help him sell the baseball cards. Of course, he would pay her a salary. The girl agreed decisively. During the long period of getting along, the girl also developed feelings for him, so David took her to meet his parents. To help his parents adapt to life above ground better, David sold some stocks and bought a large piece of land in the suburbs. Finally, the whole family lived happily together.
I secretly put the phone into Grandpa's pocket. As Grandpa was buried, the phone was also placed in the coffin. Because I missed Grandpa so much, I couldn't help sending a text message. But as soon as I put down the phone, there was thunder and lightning outside. The next morning, I was shocked to find that Grandpa had actually replied to me. The characters on it were our secret code. I ran downstairs quickly, told Dad about it, but Dad didn't believe me, thinking I was talking nonsense. This text message was probably just a prank from someone else. I refused to accept this explanation, so I secretly went to Grandpa's cemetery, dialed his number, then lay on the ground to listen. A familiar piece of music came, and I was more sure of my guess, but I really didn't understand. If Grandpa was still alive, why did he pretend to be dead? Full of doubts, I went to Grandpa's house. Recalling our past time together, I felt very sad. Could this really be an accident? A week passed like this, and I gradually got over it. Until the day of the dance, because I danced with the school beauty. I was dragged outside by a bully. The bully had long disliked me, so he turned all his dissatisfaction into fists and punched me. Before leaving, he struck a strange pose at me. Afterwards, I called Grandpa, telling him about my pain. However, the next day, I received a message from a friend. The bully died unexpectedly. At first, I thought it was a joke, until I saw the bully's body being carried away. I only believed it was true. From the police, I learned that when the bully was found, his gesture was with hands crossed, exactly the same pose. He made the day I was bullied. Everyone thought it was an accident. Only I knew it was related to Grandpa. So I made another call, but Grandpa still didn't answer. But as soon as I put down the phone, Grandpa called me back. I was instantly shocked. So the next day, I went to a store and bought a new phone. I tried dialing with the new phone and only breathed a sigh of relief when I saw the call failed. When I got home, I put the old phone into a storage box, deciding never to open it again. Later, I successfully got into college and left the small town. One day, many years later, Dad told me terrible news. My head teacher died in a car accident. The perpetrator was driving drunk, but got away with legal sanctions through connections. I was instantly filled with anger, took out that old phone again, and told Grandpa. The next morning, the perpetrator really died. I immediately went to the hospital, bribed a nurse, and learned the truth about the perpetrator's death. The bar of soap he swallowed was exactly the brand my teacher often used.